Everyone always says, share the spotlight and don't hog the spotlight. But what does that even mean? Today, let's go over how to recognize if you're the player that is hogging the spotlight and what you can do to share the spotlight with other players. Let's dive in. How do you know if you're the player that's hogging the spotlight? Well, you can start by asking yourself these things. Are you talking more than other players? Are you steamrolling players? Is the story arc about you? And finally, do you always have to roll? Are you talking more than other players? Like significantly more. If you're playing online, you can easily see this with either like lights or your face will be on the screen. While you're at the table, it might be a little harder to see visually when you're talking more than other players. It's okay to be the player that makes the final decision, but you want to make sure you're not overstepping. Are you steamrolling players? What do I mean by this? That means talking over other players. It happens, especially if you're playing on an online server where it's a little bit harder to see the visual cues, so it happens. There are ways you can overcome this. For instance, you can just open the floor for that player after you've made your comment. For example, I wanted to ask whether this soldier's uniform is familiar to my character, but also Baba was trying to say something. Bam, you've opened the floor for that player. Even though you were talking over him, you still are showing that what he has to say is significant and you want to hear it. Open the floor for the next player to speak. Is a story arc about you? If it's not about you, should you be the one making all the decisions and talking the whole time? Probably not. Most likely your DM has created a story arc to revolve around a player that they want to shed some light on, whether it's their background, whether it's just an opportunity to let that player shine. If you're not the main character and you're doing all the talking, it's really taking away from that opportunity and can be discouraging for the player and to your DM. If you're used to being in the driver's seat, take a step back and let someone else drive the story. And we'll talk about how to help that player actually shine in those moments as well. And then finally, do you always have to roll? Are you the player that goes, I want to make that perception roll too? Or, I was also investigating that closet. If you are, stop. I get it. Nobody wants to fail. You want your party to get through whatever mission this is and succeed. But rolling a natural one is just another part of the story. Not everything has to have a roll. So if it's something that's important, your DM should include it for free without having to make you roll. If you're also rolling, you're taking away from that player's original idea. Maybe they rolled a natural 19 to check that closet for nooks and crannies and secret compartments, but you rolled a natural 20. Suddenly, a cool moment that was theirs is now yours. It's okay to assist in a roll if your DM allows it, and that would give them advantage on the roll. Now this is an optional rule. Remember that every class has things that they're good at and things that they're awful at. For instance, my druid is wise, which makes her super perceptive, but she can't talk her way out of anything. So when it comes to looking for tracks or looking for clues, she'll look all she wants. As soon as a person walks in and we need to ask them for specific clues, she backs up and lets the bard take over. Spotlight hogs, let me know in the comment section below, when was it that you figured out you were the spotlight hog? And your comments could help someone else get better at D&D. All right, so you're the spotlight hog. Now, how do you learn to share the spotlight? First off, take a step back. Just be quiet. Don't talk. I'm serious. I know this one seems very, very obvious, but just take a step back. You don't have to be the one that says everything. And if you feel like the party won't move without you, then that's something you need to bring up with your party. But I have a feeling that if you shut up for a minute, those quiet players in the back will have plenty to say. Think of it this way. If you don't have something constructive to say, don't say anything. If you do have something constructive to say, still don't say anything. You're the spotlight hog. Inevitably, you will be speaking, and it will be more than most players even get a chance to. While you're taking that step back, it's perfectly okay to encourage other players. You can still say, wow, that's a great idea, Bobo, or wow, nice move, Jimmy. These names, I don't know, I'm sorry. Another tip, pull those quiet players in with some role playing of your own. If you have quiet players in your group, they might not even know what to say or how to role play, and you're good at it. You're a spotlight hog. So pull them in by asking them some pointed questions. For instance, hey Oscar, you're a barbarian. Which quest interests you the most? Or, hey Mrs. Bard, I bet you 5 copper you can't get any information out of that guard over there. Bam, you've moved the spotlight to another player. Easy as pie. Ask them about their history. Have your character get to know theirs. Every couple of sessions, try to have a one-on-one with one other character. Just one. You'll be surprised how much you didn't know about their backstory that they created. Or it could be an opportunity to get them to create stuff, and your DM will thank you for that at least a little bit. This one is obvious. Don't steamroll other players. In particular though, don't tell players how to play their character. You get to play your character, they get to play their character. If you're playing their character for them, why are they even here? If you do end up steamrolling them, open the floor for them by following up. Okay, I'm doing this, but hey, you were trying to say something. What was that? This tip is the one that I use the most. It actually works for me. When in doubt, count it out. I made it rhyme, so it would be a little easier, but count 5 seconds. After the DM asks a question or says something, that gives people plenty of opportunity to actually say something before you. If nobody says anything, normally I try to throw something out there or ask someone a question. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, hit that subscribe button because I post a video like this every week. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys. My cats are running around like crazy. In a D-roll, bam. There's a lot of bams in here. Too many bams. Is this tip number 2? Did I number these? Tip number 2.